All right, welcome everyone. I'm Ken. I'm the Safe Investor. My goal is to help you make money and safe at the same time. Okay, so tonight we're going to share with you a very, very powerful and interesting indicator. Not a lot of people talk about this. This is like the ultimate secret weapon that I've been using. And for those who actually know me, they also know how I use the indicator to actually really help myself boost my profits and also reduce the risk when the market is super duper high. So let's dive into it. Okay, so just a disclaimer for whatever I share today, it's not for any financial advice. It's just for educational purposes. So please do your own diligence before you use this indicator. Okay, so let's get started. So a few days ago, I have a friend who was asking me why I actually prefer stocks than the crypto market. And I told him because there is this best indicator out there. And in the crypto world, I don't think there is, because I could be wrong, but I don't think there is this indicator yet in the crypto world. But I could be wrong. So let's state out some common beginner issues if you're trading crypto. Okay, so if you're not a beginner, I hope you don't have this issue. But if you are a beginner, most people tell me that number one, they can't catch the bottom when the coin drops. It's very hard for them to catch the bottom. Number two, it is very hard for them to catch the trend. They kind of can't really tell when a trend is formed and when a trend is has changed. Okay, so for beginners, if you're new, then I hope you don't have this problem. If you're very, very seasoned, I'm pretty sure you won't have this problem, right? Number three, they don't know if it'll go up again. So, for example, a few days ago, another friend was asking me, can I buy Cardano? Now, Cardano, like right now, we do see it going back up, but before that, the Cardano was in a super, super huge drop. And he was asking me if he could buy Cardano. And I actually told him I have no idea. Okay, I have no idea. And I'll explain why later. And he was also saying that he wants to invest in crypto, but he's very scared of the technology change in the crypto world. So we thought Bitcoin was the next digital currency, but then we had Ethereum coming out, which has more functions. And then we have stable coins coming out. And then now we have Solana, Mana, Cardano, and all those. We had Ripple before. And he was a little bit afraid of which coin to choose because, if you look at some of the coins in the past, they went down a lot and no one really knows if they will go back up. And with the new technology coming out and out and out, he actually said that it was really hard for him as a beginner to choose the right coin to invest in. Okay, and and number five, of course, there's no clear indicator to get in and to get out. Okay, so if you feel somehow the same way, can you type me in the comments? Okay, type me if you somehow feel when you're trying to trade in the crypto world and you are a beginner, you feel the same way. So type me in the chat so I know. Okay, so I told him why I'm not against crypto trading. I just like stock market trading more. So number one, it's very hard for you to catch the bottom in the cryptocurrency world, but in the stock market, it is very, very simple. And I've done it 10 times. So some of you have attended my Catch the Bottom technical analysis course, which is, I would say, its own design for stocks because for stocks, you can actually look into the financial reports of the company. For cryptocurrency, there's not a lot of reports for you to look at. Okay, so number two, what is the trend in the stock market? To be honest, even Warren Buffett said that. He said he would never bet against the US market. So number two, the trend for the stock market, if you look at the index fund, it is always going up. Okay, so if you agree with me, type up in the comments. Okay, type up in the comments because if you look at the index fund, you look at the S&P 500, you look at the QQQ and all the major index funds out there, and you look at the longest time frame, the only direction you see is up. Okay, in the stock market. Number three, you don't know if it'll go up again. So if you can understand how Warren Buffett looks at a stock or looks at a company, and you see the intrinsic value of a company or business continue to go up, then it's going to go up. Like, for example, right now, if you look into the stock market, Facebook is in a huge drop, but it has gone back up already a lot. Okay, it's gone back up, like I would say, like almost 10% already. So, and then you go and look into financials, the company is making more and more and more and more money every single year. So when you see this, how is it possible for the stock price to not go up? So that's why I also like the stock market more. Also, if you think about number 4, the technology change in the world, you can actually find a lot of solid old businesses out there like McDonald's, Apple, and Microsoft. They've been out there for 50 years. And Johnson & Johnson, Coca-Cola, Procter & Gamble, and Walmart, right, or Costco. These companies have been out there for more than 50 years. So the technology doesn't change that fast. So imagine if you bought Ripple, you will need to kind of worry about getting out. You bought Solana, you bought Cardano, you bought even Ethereum or even Bitcoin. You always have to worry about when to get out. Okay, so if you have this feeling, type out. If you have to constantly worrying about getting out, type out. You type out for me. Okay, so this problem in the stock market, it doesn't really exist. Okay, it kind of doesn't exist because most of the time, 99% of the time, the stock market will just continue to go up. Okay, most of the time, right? Even like when now we're in drop, but we're in a recovery right now. Okay, number 5, it's less volatile compared to the cryptocurrency like Bitcoin or Ethereum. So for beginners and people who want safety, not to go up and down quickly, I actually think the stock market is a better place to start. Now, today I'm going to show you an indicator which is mentioned by Warren Buffett. And why do I look up to Warren Buffett is because he is the longest stock billionaire. Okay, so he didn't get, well, there wasn't cryptocurrency in his era. There were a lot of traders or stock investors out there, but he is the only one who can do it consistently. It means that his win rate is very, very high. Okay, so every year he makes about 20%. Although the 20% is low, but he can consistently make 20% every single year. Okay, so that's the power of high win rate or consistency. Okay, everyone type C for me. Type C for me for consistency. So when we do trading or when we do investing, we want to aim for high success rate. Okay, and with this indicator, he actually, well, I wouldn't say that's how he did it, but he talked about this indicator, and that's how I've been using this indicator to really make my profits in the stock market. So who's ready to learn from him? Type L if you're ready. Okay, type L for me. Type L. Okay, I know there are a lot of people watching. Type L for me. Type L. Okay, so let me show you what it is. Well, he said that be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy only when others are fearful. Okay, so that's his most famous quote, and this is the rule of investing. There is only one rule. That's it. That's it. So if you go and look at any market out there, real estate, crypto, forex, stocks, right? This is what will happen. You can see right before the crash, it is always euphoria. You think that the market is going to continue to grow. You think that the price is going to grow because you kind of see an uptrend. You kind of see an uptrend, right? But then you never really know if you're the last person to buy into the market. Because if you are the last person to buy into the market, what's going to happen is that there are no more new buyers and the stock price is going to come crashing down. Okay, I'm not sure about crypto, but definitely in the stock market, the stock price is going to come crashing down. And at the bottom, You know, you hold, you don't know if you want to sell. But when you can't hold on to it anymore, when you feel like you want to die, that's the best time for you to buy, because you could be that last person selling away his or her shares. Okay, so the market psychology is very different than human psychology. But if you get this, you just need to reverse the psychology. You just need to reverse it. So if you can look at this chart right here. Okay, we're just going to talk about stocks. When the stock market is in a huge drop, that's where pessimism is flooding everywhere. That's fear, right? You think that you're super afraid and you want to sell it. But that is the best time for you to buy, because you can first you lower your risk and then you increase your returns. Same with at this peak level right here for the stock market. When the price is super duper high, there's a less chance for the price to go up more. There's a higher chance for the stock price to drop. Okay, so but then most people will be like, they will do FOMO things. They want to, because they missed out in the beginning, so they want to try to still catch onto the trend. And if they didn't notice the trend change, they're gonna suffer a lot of losses. Okay, so if you really understand this chart, you look at when you start with optimism, the price goes up, and then everyone's too happy, goes to euphoria, and then it crashes, and then goes to extreme pessimism, like 1 or 2 weeks ago, and then the market will start to recover. So this is the whole stock market cycle, and it's in any stock. It's in any stock. So if we can take advantage of this stock price movement, we can actually master the market. Okay, so if you understand what I'm trying to say so far, type U for understand. You type U for understand. Okay, I want to see how many people understand. Type U for understand. Okay, so this chart, go and study this chart if you want to start investing in the stock market. Once you master this chart, you can actually avoid a huge drop and buy at the bottom to boost your returns. Okay, it is possible and it's doable. So if you really follow this tip, this is a profit that I made. In 5 days, I made $3,380 in one single same stock. Okay, in one single same stock. And you can look at the holding days. I only held it for 5 days, and then I made $3,000 on this stock. Now, why and how did I do it? It is very, very simple. Well, first of all, it is a triple leverage ETF or leverage stock. It means that triple means that when the original stock goes up $1, this stock will go up $3. When the original stock goes up $10, this stock will go up $30. Okay, so first of all, it's a leveraged ETF or a leveraged stock. Then I caught the bottom. I'll tell you how to do it later. I caught the bottom, and you can see my shares. I actually bought a lot of shares. Okay, so you can see that's the cost right here. That's the sales right here. Because I was already using leverage, so it actually helped me boost my returns. Okay, just in 5 days, and then I closed the position and I cashed out. Right, so it is very, very doable by using this indicator. Okay, so how did I do it? Very, very simple. I basically bought it at the most fearful point when everyone around me, my friends, my family, my colleagues, even one of my mentors were saying that there could be another drop coming. And I looked at this indicator out there and I said, no, that's the bottom right there. And I caught it so many times. And I just followed this simple indicator. And yeah, so that's how I did it. I bought it during the extreme fear, and I used a triple leverage to boost my returns. That's how I got made $3,000 in 5 days. In 5 days on one single stock. Okay, so yeah. So now, what about cryptocurrency? We know that now cryptocurrency is in a recovery right now, But if you look at Ethereum and before it went up, would you really dare to go big? When I go big, it means that you want to open your leverage, you want to use options, you want to use your futures, you want to do a lot of things out there. When it's in a drop out there, do you really dare to bet heavily into the cryptocurrency world? If you can, if you do dare, type me. I just want to know how many people are really understand what they're doing. If you really understand this means that you have a very good understanding of the cryptocurrency or the underlying asset. Congratulations, it's very good because we always want to know what you are buying. If you don't know what you're buying, just don't buy it. Right? Don't buy it. Okay, so same thing. What about other coins like Cardano? Now Cardano, we know it's going up, but in this bottom right here, when there was pessimism out there, do you really dare to throw all your money into one single currency? Maybe no, maybe yes. I don't know. Now, if you are the person who isn't really comfortable of throwing a large portion of your money into one single coin, then either it means that you probably don't know too much about the coin, or okay. So I would say maybe you actually don't know a lot about the coin, or it means that you think that the coin is not going to go up. You think the coin is not going to go up, right? But then the case with the stock market is different, because let's say you just buy the index fund, even the S&P 500, you see in a huge crash right there, and then I'm going to show the indicator later. S&P 500 or an ETF is something where you can throw a large portion of your money into the ETF, because the ETF itself has 500 stocks inside. So this is the power and difference between cryptocurrency trading and stock market trading. Same thing over here. Solana. Yep.
Ken, sorry, there are people asking that you are not sharing your screen yet. I hope you are not sharing your screen yet, right?
Oh, shoot.
Just in case. Yeah. You're not sharing your screen yet. Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Okay, shit. Okay. Let me. All right. Okay, so all right, so let's go back to the Solana slides. I should have reminded me earlier, but it's fine. Okay, so going back to Solana. So if we look at Solana right here, right before the growth right here, right before the growth, we can see Solana was, in a pretty big drop, and it kind of looks like a downtrend. But then if you are afraid to buy Solana, you would have missed out on the super big growth right now. If you were afraid, you didn't know the value of Solana, you didn't know if it was going to go back up, you will lose out on this big chance right here. Okay, same thing with Luna. So the real question is, if you're trading cryptocurrency and if you're new and you don't really dare to buy big when the currency drops, why do you not dare to buy big? Okay, so that's a question you should ask yourself. Is it because you have no confidence in the coin? Is it because your technical analysis skills isn't good enough? Or is it because you are just gambling in the cryptocurrency world? You just don't know what you're doing, right? So the real question is, in a huge drop, we all know that we should buy in a huge drop, or when something is on a discount, we should buy big. But why don't you dare to buy it? Now, if you had done it, congratulations. It means that you know what you're doing. Congratulations. Now, if you don't know, or if you don't dare to buy it, why don't you dare to buy it? So that's a question you should ask yourself. Okay, so this is the golden indicator in the stock market, and that's how I made $3,000 in 5 days. So this is called the VIX indicator. It shows you the fear and euphoria in the stock market. You can see whenever the indicator is high, it means that's extreme fear. And that's how I use it to catch the bottom. When there is extreme fear in the market, the price will crash all the way to the bottom because people are just panic selling. And that's the best time for you to buy into the stock market. So if you look at this, we can see that there was a housing bubble in 2019. The VIX indicator shot all the way up to 100. If you had throw your money into the stock market at that time, you would have been a billionaire by now. Okay, you would have been a billionaire by now. Same thing in 2020 when the COVID hit, the fear indicator shot up to 85%, 85. If you had throw all your money into one of the index funds like S&P 500 or QQQ or even Dow Jones, or even just one single stock like Apple, you would made a lot of money as well. Okay, so this is why this indicator is so powerful. Now, if we go ahead and look at the recent, well, not recent, go ahead and look at the previous corrections, we can see that when people are fearful, like you can see the VIX shooting up, the bottom is the VIX right here, and then this is the stock price of the S&P 500. You can see if you had simply just looked at the VIX indicator without looking at the S&P 500 chart, you can see that you can still buy it at the bottom. You can still buy it at the bottom, right? So you can see the spike. When you see a spike, you just buy it, hold on to it. You don't need to worry about getting out, right? It's the index fund. That's the entire market. You don't need to worry about getting out. Although you do make slightly less returns, right? But then you can, this is something where you can throw a huge portion of your money into the index fund. Okay, so now what about recent ones? Well, how did I catch the bottom? So this is a true story. So, you know, during the Russian war, right? There was a Russian war going on, and there was the Fed raising interest rate. So people were panicking. So if you look at this VIX indicator out here, that was the time when there was absolute pessimism. The news, your family, your friend, your trading friends, even some of your mentors will go crazy and say that I just sell shares for safety, right? That's a time where you should really think safely. Think about the real thing. Okay, you go outside. What I did was, you know, there was too many news, too many noise. I went outside. I looked around the streets, and I saw no panic, no economic crisis, no bubble. Okay, no bubble. That was it. Then I went and looked into the financial reports of the individual companies, and I see that despite the war going on, those individual companies were making a hell of a lot more money before the war, because let's say you needed communications, Facebook and Google, those are the two largest communication softwares out there, or company, right? During the wartime, they actually make more money. They actually make more money. So if you understand this concept, then you look at the VIX indicator, it was hitting at 36 right there. And then you think about it, you compare it to the COVID situation right there. The COVID situation was 80. And you think to yourself, is this a COVID situation? No, it's not even a COVID situation. There was no lockdown. There was no, I wouldn't say, okay, some businesses were slightly affected. But what about the major companies like Google, Amazon, Facebook, and all those major companies out there? Are they really in trouble, or is it just a panic? Now, so my answer was that it was just a panic because the companies were making a hell of a lot more money. You look at the VIX. My colleague was saying that this is like COVID, and I was like, no, this is not like COVID, because COVID, the VIX was 85. And right now, at that time, like a few weeks ago, the VIX was only at 36. So I'm like, dude, this is not even COVID. Why are you afraid? Well, he asked me, aren't you afraid? I say, I'm not afraid because it's not like COVID. You look at the fear indicator. The fear indicator is only at 36. Why are you afraid? It's not even COVID, man. So that was the time when I threw all my money into a leveraged ETF, and I used options as well. And that's how I, made, good money in such a short period of time. Now, also, if you look at this chart right here, if you had followed this indicator, which is VIX, because VIX is only designed for the stock market, you can see that whenever there was a price drop, right, VIX goes up, price drop, VIX goes up, price drop, VIX goes up, price drop, VIX goes up. Same thing. If you want to catch the bottom, you can see that whenever the VIX spikes up, then there's always a drop. There's always a drop. So it's as simple as that. When people are fearful, just throw your money into one of the index funds. Okay, so just throw all your money into index fund. I'm not even joking. All your money into one index fund in a huge drop is literally the best way for you and the safest way to make huge profits. Because I know when you do crypto trading or when you do individual stock investing, of course you can't throw all your money into one individual stock or one individual coin. But if there's an ETF or if there's an index fund, that's the only place for you to do it. All your money into one index fund and in a huge drop. That's how you make money. Okay, so that's that. So, and what's the win chance of doing it? So even let's say if you're very you didn't look at VIX, you threw your money in QQQ during the .com bubble. That was the peak. The QQQ crashed all the way down, and it crashed again in 2008 right here during the housing bubble. It will be painful. But if you had held onto it for a super duper long time, it means that you don't need to worry about getting out. You don't need to change your stocks. You don't need to change your cryptocurrency. Just stick with the index fund. You still make 600%. Even if you had bought it at the top over a 20-year period, you still make 600%. Okay, so this is the beauty of an index fund or the beauty of stock investing. Now, cryptocurrency, I know that I think there is an ETF doing cryptocurrency now, but you can probably do the same thing if you have huge, high confidence in cryptocurrency, right? You go find the ETF. You don't want to do your individual cryptocurrency buying and selling. You find the ETF, wait for a big drop, you throw, I wouldn't say throw all your money, but maybe 50% of your assets into that crypto ETF, then you leave it for another 10 years. You don't need to worry about it, right? So this is the beauty of stock investing, and the win rate is 100% in the long run. Okay, so if you understand what I'm trying to say, type U. Okay, type U in the chat. When we're doing trading or doing investing, the first thing that you should really go for beginners, if you're seasoned, you obviously know how to do it. If you're a beginner, and you should always aim for win rate or success rate. You shouldn't aim for the gain, because let's go back to some new companies like Tesla. Tesla's win rate means that the stock price going up or down. The win rate for Tesla, I would probably feel it's about 60 to 70% of that. But then of course you can gain huge profits, right? But on the same side, you can lose a lot of money as well. But if we always focus on the high win rate stocks or cryptocurrencies, in the long run, you repeat it and repeat, you can actually beat a lot of professional traders out there, because your win rate is so high. Although your profit is a little bit low, but since your win rate is so super duper high and you repeatedly do the same thing, you can actually beat a lot of professional traders out there. Okay, so this is the beauty of stock investing. Now, going back to cryptocurrency, can you do this on cryptocurrency, throwing all your money in one or two currencies when it's in a drop? Now, this question, I don't have an answer. I hope you have an answer yourself. If you really studied into the technology of cryptocurrency and you can somehow determine the intrinsic value of the cryptocurrency, then I'm pretty sure you will feel comfortable doing this. Now, if you feel that the cryptocurrency world is changing too rapidly and you're constantly worried about buying the wrong coin, or constantly monitoring the market and worrying about getting out of the cryptocurrency, then maybe you can't do the strategy that I just shared, right? So now I do have a stock trading beginners course coming up. Now, I know some of you want to learn options, but I don't teach options. I know how to use options, but I just don't teach them. So I do have a free stock trading beginners course coming up next Monday. And if you're new to stock investing, not options, I will guide you through some simple steps for you to get started and not lose money in the stock market. Once you don't lose money in the stock market, let's say you make 10 trades and you don't lose money in those 10 trades, those will become 10 winning trades, 10 profitable trades. Now, the profits can be low, can be high, but we want to focus on high win rate. You want to focus on high win rate. Okay, so this is the link for next Monday. It's a free webinar. If you are interested, I'm going to paste the link over here. Give me a moment. Okay, so this is for next Monday. If you don't have time, you can pick another date. Okay, so and then if you have any more questions about the VIX indicator or how to trade in the stock market, definitely join my Telegram. In my Telegram group, I actually share with you how and when is the best time to buy in the stock market, or even I sometimes tell you when to get out of the stock market. And if you really want to master this indicator, it's kind of like a free training. Master the indicator of VIX, definitely join my Telegram group, and then you can get more tips and free tips in the stock market from there. Okay, so that's that. Any other questions? You can leave your questions, and then I will answer them. Okay, Zhongwei, I think that's it. Any questions? Okay, now I see. Oh, so okay, let me answer Joshua Wong's comment. Because when you buy the dip and it continues to dip further. Okay, exactly. So catching the bottom is it's an art. You only try to catch it 2 times. If you miss those 2 times, don't do it again. Okay, you wait for another huge drop. Okay, so but if you look at VIX, VIX almost never lies. It almost never lies because its market condition follows human psychology. When people are super afraid and super fearful, that's the best time for you to buy. It cannot go wrong. It has never gone wrong if you look at VIX. You compare VIX to the major index, which is the S&P 500. It has never gone wrong before. When people are in a huge panic, you buy the index fund, wait for it to go back up, you make money. It's as simple as that. Super, super easy. Okay. Oh, hi, Chloe. Oh, hey, Chloe, you're here. Okay. You don't see the screen. Yep, I fixed that. Okay. Any other questions? All right. If no questions, that is it. Okay. That's it. Okay. Thank you.